Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is Triangle Blue Velvet, Season 1, Episode 8, and the name of this episode is Keeping Up with the Jones. And I have to say, it was a perfect title because we finally get to see, Brandon's family. And this is for his birthday dinner, so we finally get the birthday dinner that we were all expecting. And let's just say this is a really good episode. I thought it was very well written, and all of the actors, delivered. So let me begin. So the episode opens up first with August and Jabril. August is now being played by Kyrie Moore. Some of you actually remember Kyrie Moore. He actually played Dante's brother-in-law in Boy Drama. And the season finale, the brother-in-law just somehow disappeared into the night. I guess he don't dance, he make money moves, because he caused all these problems on in his, with his character on Boy Drama. He caused all of these problems and then just dipped out. So I thought that was kind of like hilarious. But I'm so happy that Kyrie is a part of the Triangle family, and he's doing an amazing job playing August. And he pretty much is like surprised that Brandon, is welcoming him into the house, and he was even surprised that he even invited him to the dinner. But Jabril was like, now Brittany was not going to allow Brandon to not invite you. But he was like, hey, I told her not to force it. But, we actually see that, him and Brandon, are beginning, are now beginning to bond with each other, which was actually really good because from the last time, him and August were not seeing eye to eye. He was very dismissive, very closed off, and he took his anger out on August. So pretty much, Jabril decides, okay, I'm going to let you brothers bond, but I'm going to stay in a hotel room tonight so the two of you can be here by yourselves and you can get to know each other. So while Jabril's upstairs, Brandon's like, why didn't you tell me you was leaving? He's like, well, that would ruin the surprise. But then they pretty much talk, and he asks Brandon, has he talked to his father yet? And he says no, and he's pretty much trying to dread talking to his father right now because he's still angry with him. But then they also confirmed that Brittany can't make it because she's in nursing school and she's a part of this nursing program, so she can't leave. But pretty much, Jabril's like, well, I'm going to be leaving, so you and August will spend some time. But Brandon made sure he got some from his man before he left for the night. Don't blame you, Brandon. Don't blame you at all. So then we see that Brandon and August sit down, and they apologize to each other. He apologizes to August for taking his anger out on him, and that he was wrong for treating him like that. And August also apologizes for showing up at his house unannounced. That he said that I really wanted to get to know my brother, so I took a chance, and that's what I did. Oh yeah, you definitely will get the backlash if you kind of show up at somebody's house unannounced. So it was cool that August apologized for that. I thought that was cool. And they both decided that they're going to start over and really, really begin to become brothers. And it's obvious, and then it's pretty much obvious that Brandon is not looking forward to seeing his dad. So finally, Jabril comes back home, and they pretty much talk about their night and how they, gotten to know each other. And Jabril says, okay, we're about to get some things for the party, so he asks August to leave with him while Brandon gets ready and everything. So they pretty much go off, and then we get a scene where there's a knock on the door. Brandon is kind of, curious, like, who could this be? Lo and behold, it's his father, Brian Jones. And let's just say, yes, Daddy was hot, okay? Like, it's obvious, yes, they got some good genes, because both August and Brandon are very attractive, and they got it from Daddy, because Daddy is giving, Daddy sexy realness up in this bitch. And the father steps in, and he wants to talk to Brandon, and you immediately can tell that there is a lot of tension between them. And he said that, he said that, look, we need to talk, and maybe you can give me a tour of the new house. So they go up and Brandon's like, so do you want the tour or what? He's like, well, I think we need to talk first. And immediately, Brian starts saying, like, you were dead wrong for how you treated August. He does not deserve that. And like, you were dead wrong for pushing him off. And he says that, yeah, and he was wrong for just showing up on my doorstep telling me this crap. How was I supposed to react? So, but then, he's saying that, look, regardless of what I did, I'm your father, and you will still respect me. So then they really get into this argument. They go back and forth, about, like, how could you do this to our family? Here it is. I built my whole idea of love and marriage on you and Mom, and then come to find out that you cheated and you had a whole nother family. How was I supposed to react? How was I supposed to feel about August showing up at my doorstep? So Brandon made a good point. But then we actually see that this kind of humans Brian, where he actually takes a different, where he actually admits that, yeah, I cheated, it was not right, and it turns out she was pregnant, and I wasn't going to abandon my child, so I made sure that I was there for him, and that I actually, was there to support her and the child. And he's saying that, yeah, it was hard on me and your mother, and the thing is, I wanted to do what's right. But I know this is going to be hard for both of us. But we're family, and we need to stick together. So I was like, okay, I'm seeing Brian, but definitely there's more to Brian than meets the eye. But it was cool that they had that little argument, but then they kind of, mended fences. So you can definitely see there is strong love between Brian and Brandon. So pretty much we see that Jabril and August are in the car. They're pretty much, talking, and, August is talking about, he's planning on taking some time off of school, and he's trying to sort out what he really wants to do. But we actually find out later on there's more to that situation between August and school. And yeah, I'm definitely going to get to that. But so pretty much we see that, the two of them are bonding, and we actually see that, Jabril has also kind of developed a relationship with August, and, he's getting to know him as, his brother-in-law. So it was just all good, like, out to see August, being a part of the family. So then, they finally get back to the house with all, with everything, and Brandon is still upstairs getting ready, and Uncle Benny shows up. Now, Uncle Benny is played by Matt Jones, and I say he is a good actor, because I love Uncle Benny. Uncle Benny is that uncle that tells it like it is. He don't care about your feelings. He just gonna let you know what's up. But then we actually see that, yeah, Uncle, everybody was happy. Brian and Benny are brothers, and Brian goes off to go use the bathroom, and we see that Uncle Benny has a conversation with August, and we actually see that, yeah, August as well as Uncle Benny, they've gotten to know each other. They've definitely gotten real tight, and he was talking to him, and he was saying that, look, so how was it like with Brandon? So even though Brandon is thinking Jabril is controlling everything, but really, they in their own way have manipulated the situation where Brandon was going to have to face it, and he wasn't going to have to, and he couldn't escape it. So he was like, yo, so he pretty much hits up, August, like, so how's it like hanging out with Brandon? You know what? Oh, no, he didn't. I'm going to have to check his ass. and I was like, no, everything was cool. We bonded fine. You know, but then he starts talking, and then Uncle Benny starts, because Uncle Benny be knowing some tea. That's the thing I like about Uncle Benny. Uncle Benny be knowing the tea about everybody in the family. Like, he knew about the tea about, the last time we saw him, he knew about the tea about, you know, Brittany and this new boy that she was dating. And that, you know, the father didn't know about it, and neither did Brandon, but he knew everything. He met the guy and everything. And it was kind of the same thing here. He knows August's secret. August got kicked out of school. Now, I think in time we'll find out what happened, but he's planning on, I think, you know, moving to Easton, but, you know, Uncle Benny's the only one that knows about it. You know, Brian has no idea. And, you know, the last time I think he, if I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, I think August goes to school in Oklahoma. So, and I think he had a full scholarship, so something must have went down and made him lose that. So I think in time we're going to find that out. So then, you know, finally, Jabril goes upstairs to check on Brandon. He's like, "Are you not dressed yet? What's going on?" And like, he said that, so who was that downstairs? And he said it was Uncle Benny. And he was like, "Oh, really? They actually getting along, you know, him and my father?" So obviously, Benny and Brian are like polar opposites. And we kind of see that, you know, in this episode of how different they are. But I have to say, I love Uncle Benny because Uncle Benny's hilarious. But then we also see in this episode that, you know, Jabril actually has a moment with Brian and they talk, you know, because he's concerned about, you know, Brandon and Jabril's relationship, and he was saying that, you know, so how's therapy going? And, you know, they talk about, you know, and Jabril pretty much reveals that, yeah, I was thinking about divorce, and I was against therapy, but now I'm open to it, and things are going well between me and Brandon. So, if anything, you know, Brian asked Jabril, like, well, why did you want a divorce? And he actually admitted that, you know, due to Brandon's drug situation, I really felt personally that I brought this on him, and that because of me, and pretty much all the stuff I was going through, I feel that my toxic energy rubbed off on Brandon, and it caused, you know, Brandon to fall apart. So that's why I wanted a divorce. But it's not because he didn't love him. But then Brian tells him that, you know, Gwen, who was Brandon's mother, wanted Brandon and Jabril to stay together. So I'm like, I'm Team Gwen. I'm Team Gwen. I want them to stay together too, because it's obvious that the two of them are meant for each other. You know, it's just, you know, they just had a bunch of challenges that they had to face, but it seemed like every challenge they prevailed. But then, like, even Brian said that, yeah, I was hearing some of the stuff that was going down, and there were times I wanted to drive all the way up here to give you a piece of my mind. And Jabril laughs about it, but then Jabril actually says he loves that Brandon has a family that accepts him, and he said he wished his family was the same way, you know. And he said that, you know, your family has, you know, Brandon has a real connection with his family, something that I really don't have. And I think a lot of times my family only deals with me only because of what I'm bringing to the company. And we definitely know how dysfunctional the Davenport family really is. So it's kind of interesting that, you know, Brandon, you know, really does have that close-knit family, and that they all care and love and support each other. Yeah, so then we see that, you know, Brandon's upstairs getting dressed. He pretty much lets him know, Jabril lets him know that Uncle Benny's here and everything. But yes, Uncle Benny's hilarious. So downstairs we see Uncle Benny, yes, I'm going to call him Uncle Benny. I'm going to give him respect. Uncle Benny, along with Brian and August, they're watching television. And this shit was so funny because first, Uncle Benny was like, before Jabril went upstairs, like, yo, y'all got anything to drink up in here? He said, and like Jabril was like, I ain't serving you, fool. You can there's some vodka in the refrigerator. He's like, some host you are. It's like he's just a mess. But even Jabril loves Uncle Benny because Uncle Benny's a mess. But while they're upstairs, they're watching television, Uncle Benny, August, as well as Brian, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, there you go, yo dumbass president. You're like, oh, here go that dumbass president you voted for. So we find out that Brian voted for Trump. And then all of a sudden they even alerts August like, Dad, you voted for Trump? He's like, hell yeah, he voted for Trump. The guy who's putting America, KKK, putting the 3 Ks in America. This is who he's supporting. And he's like, and then like you see Brian starts getting defensive, like, leave it alone, Benny. Stop it. And he's saying that, so why do you, so August is like, well, why do you vote for him? He's like, because he thought he was going to help with his trucking company. And he's like, well, hey, I thought I was making the right decision, but hey, it's done now. He's like, what was I supposed to do? And then Uncle Benny was like, well, either don't vote, or better yet, you should have given it to Hillary. And he was like, you know what, Benny? You don't know shit. So won't you just shut the hell up? I was like, oh, damn. Brian getting defensive as hell for voting for Trump. Yeah, because it's funny, a lot of black people are going through the same thing. It kind of reminds me of this one guy who was so happy that he voted for Trump, but then when Charlottesville happened, he had a totally different view of Trump. And it's kind of like the same thing here. It's like, yeah, he was probably Team Trump, during the election, but then now he's starting to see Trump's agenda, and he's kind of on the fence with it, but yet he's like, hey, I made my decision, it is what it is. So then we actually see Brandon finally comes downstairs, and they have the birthday dinner, and they're having a great time. We thought that this birthday dinner was going to have some crazy drama, and the way it was designed, and I think Jabril had a hand in this, making sure that everybody arrived at different times, so therefore when it came down to the dinner, everybody got along. So everybody was laughing, having a good time. Brandon did a toast, to, his father, his uncle, and his new brother August, and he definitely, toasted to Jabril. Yeah, so but the funny thing about it, while he toasted to August, and he's saying that, I'm really glad that I got to bond with you, and I hope, to bond with you more in the near future. And then Uncle Benny, because Uncle Benny been drinking the whole time, Uncle Benny lets it slip, oh yeah, and when he move up here, you can actually be closer together. And then Brian was like, what you mean move here? What you mean you moving here? You're finishing school, and you're finishing school in Oklahoma, and that's that. And he's saying that, well, and then Uncle Benny, being who he is, he's like, look, I know you mean all in well, big bro, but August is a grown ass man, and he pretty much says that no, you need to stay out of this, Benny. He's finishing school there, and that's the end of it. Little does Daddy know, August has been kicked out of school, but the only person who knows about it is Uncle Benny. Because I said, Uncle Benny is that uncle that everybody go to, because, Uncle Benny ain't going to tell you tea, but he kind of let that slip. Because even August is like, really, Uncle Benny? He's like, I'm sorry, man, I kind of slipped a little bit. It's the alcohol shit. Because, he was so twisted that, Brandon told him that, Uncle Benny, you stay in the night. You not driving back to D.C. like this. That ain't happening. And we actually see that finally Brian, on his way out, he talks to Brandon, and he's saying that, I want you to he's like, I want to make sure that you're happy. are you both on the same page? And he's like, yeah, I'm happy. He's like, yes, but is Jabril happy? Because he's saying that, look, I'm not trying to hem you up, but I want you to know that you need to know if you and Jabril are on the same page, and are you both heading in the same direction? And if you are, I'm happy for you. So I actually do like Brian, because Brian does openly accept his son for who he is, and I think that's very, very important. And I think it's something that people need to see, that look, it's okay for a black father to love and hug and embrace his gay son. If anything, it makes you more of a man to accept your child for who they are, instead of you trying to condemn them for who they are. So it was great to see Brian and Brandon's relationship. Even though at first we definitely knew that he was mad, because we know how close Brandon was to his mother, and hearing that his father had a child outside of their marriage, yeah, that's definitely a lot to swallow. So pretty much, we see August and Uncle Benny actually talk, and August is like, really, Uncle Benny? He's like, look, eventually you're gonna have to tell him the truth, so you need to face up to it. But August is actually going back, to DC with Brian, so he leaves and says bye to Brandon and hopes to see him soon. But then we also see that Brandon tells Uncle Benny, your ass ain't driving, your ass is drunk, so stay here. And then all of a sudden we see Brandon and Jabril in the kitchen, and he's like, so you see that this actually turned out really well. And Brandon was like, yes, I really did enjoy myself, and I enjoyed my family, and I enjoyed you, so won't you hurry up and come upstairs so you can give me some real birthday cake? I'm like, you better go, Brandon. I know that's right. Shoot, you done had the birthday, so won't you come upstairs so you can give me that special gift? Unwrap the gift for me, baby. So I was just like, I'm gonna mad at that, like Brandon and Jabril. Yes. So that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. But definitely, let me shout out to. But definitely, let me definitely shout out to Kyrie Moore, Justin Crowley, who played Brian Jones, did a phenomenal job, and also Matt Jones, who plays Uncle Benny. Like, yes, these guys are great talents, and of course, Kenyon O'Brien and Dominique Smith, those guys are all-stars. So to see them, rock this episode was everything, and I really enjoyed it. But that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. Subscribe to brtbtv.com. I will have that link in the description box. If you haven't done so, you need to do it right now, because there are some great developments that are happening with BRTB there are a lot of developments that are happening with brtbtv.com, and you definitely need to be a part of it, because brtbtv.com is doing some phenomenal things. Also, check out the Triangle Fan Club on Facebook, where you get everything BRTB-TV, as well as posts from the cast and crew, as well as updates from the creator, Caesar Williams. Also, subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow me on all of my social platforms. I have them listed in the description box. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I will be back with the next episode of Triangle Blue Velvet. So until next time, everybody, take care.